Welcome back to Girls Across the Pond, episode 13.
Lucky 13. Guess what we have in store for you guys today? Because of the number 13, we thought it would be really fun to talk about some superstitions and things that kind of creep you out and things that you don't mind at all walking underneath a ladder. That doesn't bother you at all. So come and join us for a nice chat. Grab a beverage of choice
I
and
have
join
a
us.
beverage of choice.
Join us across the pond.
Special dog appearance!
We have a special guest.
Oh my god, don't make her wave at me, I'm gonna cry. Oh, she's moved her head underneath the microphone. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Dude, all the people listening on podcast streaming platforms that aren't watching us on YouTube are like, dude, what is going on right now? This is your sign that if you're listening on a podcast streaming platform, even if you don't go on YouTube a lot, you should get your booty over to our YouTube channel and see the cute poocheroo who's making a special appearance right now. The cutest doggeroo. Oh my gosh, you're waving for her. Oh, now Melody's doing the jig. Oh, she's just so stinking cute.
If you haven't
Hi,
joined
Mel
us on our website, girlsacrosspond.com, you need to, because we are not just two girls across pond, we are three girls across pond, and Melody is our third girl. And
she seems really interested with smelling the microphone.
oh, she's adorable. I'll let her go back to her nap. Oh, it's all good. How are you doing, my darling?
I'm doing well.
What are you drinking?
Today I actually have a beverage. Well, actually, I've been chugging on this sparkling spring water because I need to drink more water. But my beverage of choice for this episode, this is not sponsored, but if this brand would like to sponsor our podcast, I will not say no. But this is a Malibu pineapple. And it is a sparkling mixed drink with Caribbean rum, coconut, and pineapple flavors.
Oh my God, that sounds delightful.
Yeah, and when Simon came up to visit me a couple weeks ago, he showed me it, and I've been really enjoying them. So
nice. I tried a couple out here, and they were off-brand ones, and they were like, I didn't care for it. But from me living in Florida, that I'm just having a coconut moment and a coconut and pineapple right now. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's quite nice. This is like dangerous alcohol is what I consider it because you cannot taste the alcohol in it.
That's right. And you get plowed before you know it.
Yeah, I was going to say, me, I swig things so fast, like just normal beverages, whether it's water, milk, I don't know, apple juice, a soda. I just like, it's like my throats are just like, I just like open up and it's just like all down.
Floodgates. So Stay tuned till the very end of this episode when Joan is plowed.
Okay, I'm not that lightweight, but I'm having a nice beverage today.
Nice beverage. Good for you. I'll have my smart water. Stay fresh. Hey, you said last time you were going to go see a movie. We got off the internet. Did you go see a movie? I forgot to ask you this.
I did go see a movie. I went to go see In the Heights, but when I went, there actually weren't any showings at the nearby theater that I went to. So I went and saw Black Widow. I went and saw the new Avenger Black Widow movie. It was good. It was really good. I quite enjoyed it. It was finally good to see Scarlett Johansson getting a movie. I was really pumped about that. Yeah. But there was one scene like kind of towards the very end that just like looked so green screened. And
really?
I understand because COVID happened, and I was like, this kind of feels like it might have been filmed in somebody's living room, not gonna lie. But that definitely didn't happen. I'd like to clarify it wasn't that obvious, but I was just kind of like joking. But there was like one shot that just looked really green screened, and to be fair, they were like really high in the air, like in the actual movie. No spoilers. This is spoiler free zone, but they were like up in the sky, and so the green screen was like the earth below. So like obviously that's not something that you can like film like really easily. It's gonna kind of look fake no matter what. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it was great. The end credit scene had me shook. I'm very excited for the next movie because of the little cliffhanger they gave us at the end credit scene, which was exciting.
Nice.
So yeah, it was
Nice.
good.
How many adventure movies are there? There's like a lot, right?
So there's, if we're going in chronological order of like when the movies take place, not when they were released, but when they take place. There's Captain
Okay.
America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, Thor, The Incredible Hulk, but everyone skips that movie. Uh, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor, The Dark World, which is Thor 2, which also everyone skips. Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Black Panther. Then there's like the Spider-Man movies, but like there's kind of confusion because like Disney there weren't like rights. Like so he comes in like at a weird point. Anyways, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Doctor Strange, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. And just recently, obviously, Black Widow just came out, but that takes place before, I actually think before even Thor Ragnarok. Yeah,
Oh, bless you.
it takes place after Civil War. It's somewhere in between the franchise. I can't remember quite exactly where.
So tell me, why were there two movies on there that you said, but nobody sees those?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I didn't ever watch them. Like, period, point blank.
So
Um,
you didn't see them, but other people
yes.
have seen them.
Oh, people have seen them. Every single person that I've talked to that has seen some like is an Avengers movie follower, follows the MCU, either has seen the Hulk movies and like the second Iron Man movie and some of the Spider-Man movies we're going to leave out from this, but like Hulk and like the other Thor and Iron Man movie were like it was horrible. And then some of them, including myself, was like I just didn't watch it.
Ah,
Because
not
so
worth
like the
your
thing
time.
is like for example with the Hulk is I believe it's a different actor in the Hulk movies than Hulk in the actual Avengers. And you can understand the Avengers without watching the Hulk.
Oh, so it's like a standalone.
Yeah, so it kind of is. So you don't quite need it for context, so most people just skip it. I
Gotcha.
think. I don't know. I skipped it and I understand the MCU just fine.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you saw that. I know that was something you were looking forward to.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Nice. So we got up to Mount Rushmore this week, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to tell you, it was breathtaking. I had forgotten how how impressive that is. There's a few things you see in life when you go, you've heard of things and you've seen pictures on the internet or whatever, and then you see it in real life and you can't stop looking at it. And I know some people say they get that way with the Empire State Building because it's kind of iconic, or the Brooklyn Bridge. You feel that. I've certainly felt that way with Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. I could not stop looking at that thing. And Mount Rushmore had that feeling to me. I had seen that when I was like, I don't know, 15, 16, 17. I was in high school when I went to Mount Rushmore previously. And I thought it was nice, and Dad wanted to go, and I thought, yeah, let's go. I'm so glad we went. It was just amazing. And they've probably changed the area around it a lot since the Stone Ages when I was there last. But they had such a nice, I don't know. Well, maybe not, because I remember seeing North by Northwest, and that takes place at Mount Rushmore. Have you seen that
That
movie?
movie gave me nightmares.
Why?
Because spoiler alert, this is a spoiler, but this movie's been out for a
Everybody's
long
seen it.
time, so you should have seen it. So honestly, I don't care. Um, this the guy that falls off the face of Mount Rushmore at the end freaks me
Oh,
out.
yes.
Nightmares for like weeks. I had nightmares about that.
Falling to your death. Yeah, that is horrifying to me. Um, that is horrifying, and it's kind of cheesy. I don't know about Alfred Hitchcock's his directing gets accolades and things, and I think this was actually his best movie, North by Northwest, to be honest. But some of the stuff he does is kind of cheesy. But I
I think
thought
we talked about that in episode 1.
did we?
I think so because we were
I can't
mentioning the
remember.
Birds movie.
Yeah, some of it, and the way he ends movies, especially North by Northwest, stupid. It's almost like he runs out of ideas and goes, "Well, let's just do this." But I think a lot of the cinematography in North by Northwest was great, even holds up
Mm.
today. And we went into the little cafe that they have right there, and that was the same cafe that you can see in the movie. They've changed some of the window things about it, but it was cool to walk in and go, "Oh my God, this is right where." that
Oh,
happened.
that's cool. That's cool.
There's a very fun thing in North by Northwest. I don't know if it's a blooper that you can watch. There's a scene, and I think it's at the United Nations when Cary Grant goes to meet with um, the guy at the United Nations, and there's a gun. Is it there or is it the end? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen this, but there's a little boy sitting at a table, and there's going to be a gunshot in the scene. And right before the gunshot goes off, this little kid puts his hands in his ears. He literally goes like this, and he's sitting at the table like this, and then the gun goes off. So you could tell that they had shot it a couple of times, and it had bothered him. But they didn't edit that out. So this little kid's sitting there with his covering his ears because he knows the gun's going to go off.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, Mount Rushmore is great. We drove all day to get there. We spent an hour maybe, and then we hopped in the car and spent all day driving back. So we did it all in a day.
Lovely car trip.
It was great. It was glorious. I have to tell you, Wyoming and South Dakota had a lot of land there with nothing going on. Why are we not doing anything with that land?
Preservation, I'd assume.
I don't know. It's just beautiful, beautiful scenery out there. Nothing going on. But this week we are going to go out to Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
Back to our old stomping ground. We're going to go back to Santa Monica and spend a couple days by the beach, which will be great.
Very nice.
Yeah, hopefully see some old friends and maybe feel an earthquake or two. We haven't felt an earthquake in a while.
Are you just going for business, or are you going for fun?
Just for fun.
Oh, very nice. That's really exciting.
We love, we love Santa Barbara. We honeymooned there, and it was beautiful, and the ocean. And who knew that this summer was going to be a cross-country trip? We started in Florida, and we're going to go all the way to California driving.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing the whole of the United States this summer. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be quite nice.
Nice. The Olympics are on right now. Are you watching any?
I didn't even know they were on.
I know. There's a thing about the Olympics. You know, when I was a kid, that was just like...
I thought they canceled them from COVID.
No, you think the world would stop because of the Olympics. No, I think they limited severely. Mm-hmm. I have something in my throat. I'm so sorry, listeners. So the people that went, like if you're an athlete, I don't even think you could have a parent with you. I think you had to go alone. And so it's very downplayed. There's like nobody in the stadiums watching, or if there are, they're very minimal. It's kind of sad, but at least the athletes get to compete. You know, they spend their whole life waiting for that moment in time, and they plan it so that they're at their peak right when the Olympics comes. And to even postpone it a year, like it was postponed from last year, that's bad. You're training to be at your peak performance. So yeah, the Olympics are going on. I couldn't tell you anything's going on. Simone Biles is the only person I'm remotely following for the Olympics right now. I don't know about who are you following? Tell us. If you're following a swimmer or a track and field person, I couldn't tell you anybody who's competing except for Simone Biles. And I'm rooting for her. Go girl. I don't know. There's too many distractions. You'd think there wouldn't be because of COVID, because we're not doing anything except us. We're traveling across country, but there's nothing else going on. So you think everybody'd be watching the Olympics, and I didn't even know it started until I saw that the opening ceremony had happened.
I didn't even know it was on at all. So beat me.
Yep. Yeah, that's happening. So anyways, anything else going on with you right now?
What is going on with me? What have I done since we last chatted? I played a lot of drums. I started writing another song, which is nice, but it didn't go very far just yet. So,
okay,
slowing it out. That's fun. Yeah, not much has been going on with me. I did some Korean practice today, and I got this notebook from a nearby grocery store. And no, just grocery store, like nearby store. And it was like something like 70p or something, so super cheap. And I was just like, free paper. And it's gonna be my like essay prompt notebook, so I'm gonna do some writing practice. And I did the first one today, And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. But if
Essay
not, I'll just
prompts?
verbally describe it. Yeah, like tiny little essays. So I wrote, it's basically just like writing practice. So I just like give myself a prompt and then I write about it. That's it. So like as you can see, if you're watching visually, there's some highlighted words and they're new words that I've never used before that I looked up for the context of this prompt. So the prompt that I did for this was between books and movies, which do you prefer? Obviously, my answer is very clear. Very
Movies.
clearly very clearly the book. Um, so I talked about like why I prefer books to movies, what books offer that movies don't. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much it. I've been really into reading about science lately, which is something that I find interesting because I didn't like science in high school or in like public school. Like I wasn't like a science kid, but I think that's because like I have like this weird concept of what quote unquote like the genre of science is. And I think that's been like corrupted in my head by like media because when I hear science, I think space and I think like time travel. Like
Time
that's what I think.
travel.
Yeah, like you know like science like fiction science fiction.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
time travel.
Nice.
um and then, I really like psychology. We've been new. I really love talking about dreams and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And, obviously all that kind of study is absolutely science. Like
Yeah.
if somebody was like what category would psychology fit into, I'd be like, "Oh, science." But it's not the first thing I think of. So, I mean, I've been reading a lot of like psychology kind of like science books and like books about the brain, which has been really cool. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
up to.
I think of science as like putting a little thing on a microscope and looking at cells.
Oh,
And
you didn't
that's
like that? I enjoyed that part of science.
no, that was so boring to me. I don't know.
Really? I thought
I
it
like
was real.
people stuff.
I think that's
I'd
the
rather
part I hated. I did not like earth sciences where we talked about like tectonic plates and like water adhesion and cohesion. That was okay. But like the properties of water being like water has a high heat of vaporization. I was like, okay, cool.
I don't know. I fell
Now I
asleep
know
on
I
that.
can
I don't know.
boil water at a high temperature. Wow. Didn't know that one before. Um and like animal like biology I was not interested in at all.
No.
Like, period. No, food chain, I really don't care. But there were
Yeah.
some parts of science that were really fun. I feel like I say this with every single subject, but it was very hit or miss with me. If I was really into it, I was really into it. Like I was like, I can't wait to do the homework. I'm so excited. But if I wasn't into it, I was like, oh, I have to go do my science homework. Wah.
Wah, wah.
And womp womp.
Yeah. I'd much rather be in a history class learning about Napoleon Bonaparte or something like that. So speaking of, you mentioned reading versus movies. I read a book this week.
Oh yes, tell us about it.
I read Oedipus, and it was great. It was great. I feel so knowledgeable. And you'd be so proud of me. I even afterward, because I was reading and trying to pronounce these names that were like, yeah, I still don't know his dad's name. Was it Laius?
How do you
I don't
say
know
it?
how to say it.
How do you
Laius.
sorry, so how do you spell it?
Laius.
I think it's Lias.
Elias, and then his mom Jocasta, I think is how it. Anyways, I didn't know how to pronounce half of these things, and I'm here to tell you. Every time I saw the word Oedipus, I would say Oedipus
Ah,
because
Oedipus.
oh. So I went to find some documentaries that would where I'd be able to hear the names, and I found this really great one that was just like the history of Greek mythology in 10 minutes. And I like signed me up. So I watched that and I got, oh, last week I told you I knew nothing about Greek mythology. I know so much right now. It was so fascinating. I really liked it. I really liked the story. When you described it last week, I thought, what a creepy guy to kill his dad and marry his mom and all
It
that. So
unfolds in a way you don't expect it to, doesn't it?
it really does. I mean, I felt like, well, none of this was his fault. He didn't know. He didn't know who he was or where he came from. And he was raised by the other guy. And then he thought that he was going to be the one to kill that guy. And so he ran off and then
Yeah.
accidentally killed his dad. He didn't know he did that. It was great, a great story. I really enjoyed it. And I was running out of time. So I kind of brushed over the end, but apparently Antigone, his daughter, one of his daughters, goes off with him into seclusion or wherever he runs off to.
I can't remember quite how it ends, but Antigone
Mm-hmm.
is a sequel. So there is a story of Antigone, his daughter, and that is a second sequel. And it's
Okay.
about Antigone, and it starts pretty much where Oedipus leaves off. The
Okay.
story of Oedipus leaves off, which I recommend you also read Antigone. I
Okay.
liked Oedipus more than I liked Antigone,
You gotcha.
um, but it was still really good. It was a little bit like Antigone's struggle with trying to like not like fit in with society, but like obviously all this stuff has just happened with her parents
Mhm.
and her grandparents, and she's like, my family's a mess right now. And
Right. Right.
Oedipus was the king of Thebes, so everybody knows, and everybody knows her as Antigone, daughter of Oedipus, and so she's kind of just like, okay,
Yeah. I thought before you were saying he was king of thieves. And then
he's
I
the
was
king of
reading, it's like, oh,
Thebes.
Thebes. There's a B in
Yeah,
it. It's almost like Phoebe, and we call her Phoebes. It's the king of
yeah,
Thebes.
yeah.
Thebes.
A T,
Ebes.
yeah, Yes.
King of
I was
Thebes.
about to
Anyways,
correct you.
I am now educated on Greek mythology, and I actually have a quiz for you at the end on some Greek mythology. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Anyways, this is our 13th episode. So I wanted to get on to some superstitions. I thought that would be really fun to do for our 13th episode
Mm,
because there's a big fear called triskaidekaphobia. Do you know what that is?
the fear of the number 13.
It is the fear of the number 13. Are you afraid of the number 13?
I am not in the slightest.
I am not either. There's certain things I am afraid of, and there's other things that, as far as superstitions go, I think, oh yeah, that's a superstition. Sometimes I tempt the fate.
Do it
Whatever.
intentionally.
I do it intentionally just to see what'll happen. By the way, you know how we've talked before about, I get these feelings about things. I had
Mm-hmm.
a really strong one this week. We've lived in this townhome. We bought it last year, and how many times I've walked through? It's a pretty small townhome. Walking through the townhome, not a big deal. I was walking from the kitchen around to the stairs the other day, and I right before I turned the corner, I thought, "Oh my God, what am I going to find here?" That was the feeling I had. What am I going to find here? I turned the corner. It was a Florida-sized spider right in the middle of the hallway. Ah! And I kind of knew it right before I turned the corner. I thought, "What am I going to find here?"
Did you get rid of it?
Spider. Shook. I
Womp womp.
called I called for backup.
Reinforcements.
Reinforcements. Yeah. I stood and protected Mel because that's what a mother
Oh,
would do, would protect her kids.
yeah.
And
Security.
yeah, he took him. This thing was huge.
Ugh.
And I knew he was going to be
Yuck.
there. Yeah.
Yuck, yuck,
But
yuck,
the
yuck,
good thing
yuck.
about those premonitions or feelings or whatever they are, I wrote a blog on it. So feel free to listen to that. Um, is that it's going to happen. So it doesn't quite startle you as much.
Mm.
Anyways,
Oh,
you have a great
did you get a
blog.
chance to put my blog up?
I did. I'm SEOing it right now just to make sure we get some stuff. So I had to kind of alter some of the sentences and things. But yes, I'm working
No.
on it. It should go up. Oh, no, I haven't changed the meaning. Did you know with your SEOs, you really, especially with the blog, you need to keep your sentence structure down to less than 20 words roughly. And you had
Per
some that were like,
sentence?
yeah, per sentence. And you've got some sentences that are like 60 words, which are
Well,
good.
yeah,
And they're
because
good.
I was giving context to an educational topic that needs a lot of detail.
Yes, so I'm just having to break the sentences up without losing the context and making it all fit. So yes, I'm working on that. But you have a great blog. I've really enjoyed it. Actually, it was a really good blog, full of information, full of links and context. So if you enjoyed your input on INTJs and Myers Briggs and all that kind of
Not
stuff, we got to.
INTJs. Myers Briggs and cognitive functions.
Yes, that's what it is. That blog's coming out. Okay, back to superstitions. Wow, do I get on tangents? Reel me back in. Okay, so I'm going to mention these. I've got a bunch of these superstitions right now, and I want to get your input on if they affect you and anything that may have come up. So the very first one, obviously, is find a penny, pick it up. All day long, you have good luck. Do you do that?
No.
Oh, really? I do it every single time.
I will pick up a penny if maybe I'll pick up a penny and I'll be like, haha, look, a penny.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also something,
I
and this
used
is
to do
not
it as a
written.
kid. Sorry, I used to do it as a kid.
Because it's money, right?
Yeah.
If the penny is facing down, you're not supposed to
It's supposed
touch
to be
it.
bad luck. Yeah, I knew that. Heads is good luck, tails is bad luck.
Yeah, I pick every penny up I see. Every single penny. So I guess my good and my bad kind of balance out.
You've
I
just
get the
karma'd out.
yeah, I get the odd spider because I pick up a heads down penny. Okay, here's the second one. Don't walk under a ladder. Will you do that?
I have not been exposed to enough ladders to say if I do this actively or not. I I mean I don't go out of my way to walk under them. Don't ladders
Do
have like that like part in the middle that like folds up?
Yeah, like a brace. Hmm.
Yeah, I just hit my head on there. So like why would I walk under the ladder? I mean, I don't walk under ladders, but I don't go out of my way to not walk under them because of a superstition.
Yeah,
In the beginning, I'd like to clarify I'm not a superstitious person, so I probably
I'm
don't
not
do any
either.
of these.
I'm not either. I like to tempt fate and go, well, let's see if this happens. I actually go out of my way to walk under ladders.
Oh, really?
If I see a ladder, I'll go under it just to go,
That's
okay,
funny.
now what?
That's funny. Risk.
I wanted to know why that was a thing. And here's the thing about it, and we're not supposed to be getting religious, but that is supposed to, that came out of the Holy Trinity. And that a ladder, if you walk under the triangle, you're breaking the Holy Trinity. Who knew
Oh,
that?
I did not
I
know
did not
that.
know that.
Interesting.
Aren't you glad you tuned in today to get that information? Okay, if a black cat crosses your path, so
No.
doesn't bother you?
No, I think they're cute.
I that one actually does bother me a little bit, and I
Well, do
don't
you
know
want
how
to
to. It
know the history behind that one?
has to do with witches or something. Go ahead.
Has to do with the Black Plague. So there
Oh,
was,
I'm off.
to my knowledge, it does. I could be completely wrong, but this is the thing. The Black Plague was going around, and people just thought, because it was the Black Plague, that anything black was bad luck. So they were like, black cats, bad luck. Anyways, people started like getting really averse to all these cats, and the plague was coming through rats, which the cats got. So basically, them being averse to all these black cats made it worse for them in the long run because the cats that they got rid of or were trying to avoid were the ones actually getting rid of the rats, which then would have gotten rid of the plague. So they basically just like shot themselves in the foot with that one. But that was, to my knowledge, that one I haven't fact checked in a long time. So I could be thinking of some other plague or something. I don't know.
Oh
But
no,
I'm
that
pretty
makes
sure it was the
sense.
Black Plague.
Oh, that's cool. I was watching a documentary this week. Another tangent. I'm just so full of tangents today. I was
It's your
watching
NE
another
coming through.
documentary. What's that?
I said that's your NE coming through. And if anybody wants to know what I mean, they can read my blog post.
Once I get it up. I was watching another documentary that I had seen before, and it came up on my YouTubes, and I thought, oh, there it is, and I finally flagged it for my watch later. But it was a really great documentary about ghosts in the London Underground. Fascinating,
Oh, yeah, I
fascinating.
remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, because it's such an old city. It was there during the Black Plague and all the other plagues and things they've had. And so mass graves were a thing back then, and they had to dig up parts of the city to put the underground in, and they did disturb a lot of graves, and they had to actually move people to new graves. But there's oh, it's fascinating how many people over the massive amounts of years that the London Underground has been there that they have seen ghosts and had sightings of ghosts in the underground. And I believe in ghosts. I don't think they're creepy. I think they're just people or spirits or leftover remains of things that are still here that haven't moved on. I, I totally believe those are here. So it was great. We'll put a link on that in our YouTube so you can watch that. I thought it was great. Okay, back to the superstitions.
We'll
We'll
do
never get through this
okay,
list.
everybody just keep in mind I'm projecting this a couple of months ahead of time, but the month of October is going to be Spooktober on Girls Across the Pond. Spooky across
Oh,
the pond. Spook across the pond, scare across the pond, whatever we want to call it. But it'll be the month of like horror, superstitions, ghost stories, creepy tales. I'm calling it now. I just had that idea and I think we should execute it.
we should totally do it, but we shouldn't call it superstitions. We should call it superstitions.
Did I say superstitions? Sorry. I was
That's okay.
talking fast. I was like girls across the pond, super scary stuff.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's okay. I called a microscope a microphone in the last episode. Go back and listen. She put her microphone right on the table. Okay, a rabbit's foot. Do you carry a rabbit's foot?
No.
I know, me either. I kind of think it's creepy. That's part of this dead animal with me.
Wasn't there an Edgar Allan Poe story that had to do with A
I
rabbit's
only
foot?
know
The unlucky rabbit's foot?
I only know the Raven and Annabelle Lee.
I want to say it was Edgar
That's it.
Allan Poe, but I don't think
Annabelle.
it was Edgar Allan Poe. But it was some
Is
famous writer. I will look it up after this podcast and try and write a blog post about it. But there is a story about a rabbit's foot that was supposed to be a lucky rabbit's foot, and it turned unlucky. And it's like an old tale.
and it turned unlucky?
It's either it turned unlucky or it was like they kept it too long or they didn't give it up and they were like selfish with it or something like that.
Oh,
And there was like a moral to the story or something. I
oh, that
say
sounds like
rolling
fun.
my eyes.
I kind of like Edgar Allan Poe. He's dark.
Was
19.
it Edgar Allan Poe that wrote The Beating Heart with the heart underneath the wood?
I told you I only know those two
Oh,
stories of his.
dude, it must have been Edgar Allan Poe because in grade 8 we did an Edgar Allan Poe unit. And
Hmm.
I remember reading that story in 8th grade. I don't know if they were connected, but I think they were. And it was creepy and I was like, "Oh." But I
You know who
love
would
horror.
know? Your aunt, Auntie Patty, would
Mm.
know that. She loves that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Hit her up. She'll tell you. Okay. Bad luck comes in threes. Do you believe that?
I actually thought it was the opposite.
Good
Good
luck
luck
comes
came
in
from
threes.
yeah.
Oh no, death comes in threes. Bad luck comes in threes.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit is 3. That is a trinity. You cannot tell me that is a bad number. And actually, in Korean superstition, 4 is the symbol that means
Superstition.
death.
What's that?
In Korean, 4, and Chinese, I believe too, 4 is the number that means death.
Oh, bad luck comes in threes is a superstition, and usually it's death. And people say that all the time. If one famous person dies, and then another one will die right after him, everybody's like, "Okay, who's the third one?" You hear it all the time in newspapers and radio and stuff.
Huh.
Bad luck comes in threes
Hmm. Never
in
knew that.
America. Yeah. I usually hold my breath when two bad things happen. I think, okay, well, what's a third? What's a third?
Oh, do you feel like that with that superstition?
I do. I told you I wasn't superstitious, but I guess I am. Huh? Here's another one that bothers me is don't break a mirror. If you break a mirror, bad luck happens.
I've never broken one before.
Oh, have you
I'm
seen?
more concerned about. I've seen broken mirrors before because I've watched a lot of horror, and they break mirrors in those. Um,
See, bad luck.
but
Horror.
horror movies. I don't try to break mirrors because that would be a lot of cleanup. That's glass everywhere. It's, you know,
So it doesn't bother you if you see a broken mirror, but you said you don't see many.
where would I see a broken mirror that I didn't break?
I remember one time I had a makeup compact, which I'm not the kind of person who carries a makeup compact with me, but I had one at one time and it was in like my purse or my bag, or maybe it was traveling or whatever. And I opened it up and it was broken. And I was like, "Ugh."
Oh, I broke an eyeshadow palette mirror once when I dropped it, and I was like, oh, sucks to suck. I
Yeah.
literally I did think about the mirror thing because I was like, oh man, I was like, if this is true, I'll be haunted until like I don't know, age 21 or something. And I was like, well, good thing it's not true.
Yeah. Bad luck. What about three sixes?
666.
Mm-hmm.
Uh that one I'll notice.
Mm,
I don't change anything though.
I do. Yeah. I remember one time I had I was at a store or a restaurant or something, and the total of my bill or whatever came out to 666, and I told them to charge me an extra penny because I didn't want to pay $6.66. It kind of really bothered me that it came out to that total. Gave
Mm,
me the extra penny.
I think I was there when that happened.
Yeah, I know. It was like, oh, yeah.
Mm,
I guess I am superstitious. I don't know. Okay, knock on wood. Did you ever do that?
I do knock on wood.
You do.
Hmm. But I do it when I say something and then I go knock on wood and then I knock on it.
Yeah.
In England, the expression is just touch wood.
Touch wood. That's what Dad says all the time. Oh yeah, touch wood. Did this I did not know. You're not supposed to say happy birthday earlier than your birthday.
Oh, I
I
do
did
that
not
all the
know that.
time.
I,
Well, I mean, if you really want to, if somebody wants to get around that, they could be like, okay, happy super belated birthday.
yeah, well, belated. Oh, super belated, like 364 days.
Yeah,
Wait,
not before your birthday. This is the last one.
that's funny.
Congratulations, you made it all the way through 19.
I have not heard that. Oh, you know what? You mentioned something. I meant to mention this last week. A couple episodes ago, you had something about was a car and you were 19 and you had like bad feelings about it? What
Hmm.
was it? You thought you were going to be in a car accident or something?
I had this weird gut feeling in like middle school that like I didn't know why, but I just had this weird gut feeling that I was going to die at a young age from some vehicle related accident. And I couldn't pinpoint it because I didn't know if that involved me on public transport, me being in a car accident, me getting hit by a car, or something else. I literally was like, I don't know what is going to happen. But I had this weird feeling that I was just going to die from some vehicle related accident at a young age. So I didn't know what age, but I was like a young age.
And then last week, you talked about a premonition you had pulling out and you thought, look both ways. And
I did not think of that. Wow, that's
I
crazy.
connected that afterward when I was kind of listening back to our episode. I was like, oh, that's what you were feeling.
Like 3 years before or something.
Yeah.
That's weird. Um, yeah, because if I
Creepy.
hadn't have stopped and like double checked both ways, he would have hit the driver's side of the car, and he was going 60 plus.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it was
I
when
would
you
have.
were talking about it and you said, if he didn't injure me, he definitely would have killed me or
Yeah.
something like that. And I thought, oh, you had that premonition. Okay.
Oh, weird. That's whack.
Back on track.
Back to our superstitions.
3 days later. Okay, number 12. Okay, this is interesting. I just think this is bad feng shui, but you're not supposed to place two mirrors opposite each other so that you can see reflections.
I did know that one because it's
You did?
supposed to open like dimensions and like other portals. And the only reason I know that is because right now there's a trend on TikTok going on where people take their camera and they turn it like so it's selfie reflecting in the mirror, and then they zoom into the phone in the mirror, and it like kind of like, whoa, like mirrorception kind of thing. And then it turns into a color, and it's supposed to be your aura color. And that's like a fun TikTok trend.
Oh, that's
It's
fine.
it's it's just light rays reflecting off your phone. But anyways, that's a trend. And then a whole bunch of people on TikTok were like, "Don't do this. You're opening portals, and you're gonna like have like the worst luck." I did it, and you know what? I'm fine.
And you know what? You're fine.
I did it
Yeah,
like
that
3 months ago.
started
So
supposedly that started in Mexico and it's supposed to open a doorway for the devil. Okay,
yeah,
we're
it's
getting
supposed to like
really
open.
Satanistic. I'd
But
never heard that. Go
also,
ahead.
like, have you think about all the lifts or elevators that you stand in that are just like full mirror lifts?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, not your
Um
fault. You were just trying to get upstairs. Can't get blamed
you were
for that one.
taking the lift. I've heard it's bad feng shui because it doesn't allow the chi to get through. It confuses the chi, and so it can't get into your home. So there
I
you
feel
go.
like that's a superstition on its own. The chi.
No, it's feng shui.
Okay, explain that.
Feng
Because I
shui?
feel like, yeah, I feel like, is that not a superstition on its own? I know what it is.
No, no, it's the art of designing for well-being in your space.
Yes, I know. When you're talking about the chi,
Mhm. The chi
what are
is
you
the
talking?
energy that you want to go through your home, and you want it
Yeah.
to flow through and naturally, and it allows your own body to experience your space. And so if you confuse the chi, you can't get it through your home. And if you have mirrors reflecting each other, the chi gets confused and it will not go into your house. You want the chi to come in
You
to your
talk
home.
about the chi like it's an animal.
Well, it's your chi. Every good designer knows about the chi.
I'm
Okay.
sure they do. I just put the furniture where it fits. I'm like, oh,
My
I will have the most space if I do it this way.
Well, there's more about furniture coming up here. But before we get to that, they have never, if you use chopsticks, and I know you use chopsticks quite a
I
bit,
love chopsticks.
I can't work chopsticks. And you know what? There's a fork, and that's easier. So I'm using that. If you use chopsticks, you're never supposed to stick them up straight into the bowl. Did you know that?
Like when you finish the meal.
Or even if you have a bunch of like sticky rice there, you're not supposed to stick your chopsticks.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's just bad manners.
I
Um,
do too.
but in I know in Korea, because actually I watched this weird video at one point in time talking about the differences of chopsticks between China, Korea, and Japan, because they're actually different types of chopsticks. But I was looking at Korean chopsticks, which are typically metal or like steel of some type. Like they're like, yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, not metal, definitely steel. You know, as cutlery is. That was kind of dumb, but typically there's like a thing. I think it's just in association with. I mean, maybe it is just Korean, the metal um, steel chopsticks. Why do I keep saying metal? But I see people when they like in like K dramas or like when I'm watching like K-pop groups or something and they're eating and they grab the chopsticks, they like hold it at the top, like pretend this is two things, but they hold it at the top and then they like kind of like hit it against the table, like they push it against the table, just to like get a better grip on it,
Hmm.
and then they go about eating. And I think that's like I've only ever seen people with the stainless steel chopsticks doing that, but I've also only paid attention when somebody's using stainless steel chopsticks because I'm like, those are Korean chopsticks. Anyways,
Interesting.
that's a whole thing.
I know you're hoping to go to Korea one day. Are you hoping to go to Japan?
Yeah.
If you're there, okay. So this is an etiquette thing for Japan. So let's just educate you. Um, poking chopsticks down into your food is a big no-no in Japan. In particular, utensils look like the unlucky number four, which you mentioned, unlucky number four, which means death. Who knew?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
saying.
yeah, and also incense sticks used at funeral, they would look like
Hmm.
that. So
Oh,
it's it kind of associates it with death, but
I think
also
you
you
just
don't
put it
point your
next to your
chips.
plate.
Yeah, you're
The gesture I'm referring to is like on the side of the table, like like when you see like somebody with a mechanical pencil, how they like just like hit it against the table to get the lead to go back up into the pencil.
mhm.
It's like that kind of thing. Like they're just like re-gripping the chopsticks, so it's not anything like woo.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard about number four. Okay. If you, this is so weird. Would you imagine giving a knife to somebody as a gift, other than I guess a wedding gift if it was on their registry?
Like a knife set.
I can't imagine giving knives to somebody, but if somebody gives you something sharp, like a knife or a blade, you're supposed to give them a penny back. I've never heard that at all.
I've never heard that, and I've never received knives as a gift, so
Yeah, it's supposed
haven't
to
broke
like
that one.
soften the blow or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't give knives to somebody. I just think that's a weird gift to give people. Anyways, if you go to a funeral, you're not supposed to go straight home.
Oh, you're supposed to go somewhere after,
You're supposed to go somewhere after because the bad supposedly there's a lot of
like
mysticism
the
in this.
reception.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to stop at a restaurant or a store or something just in case you still have like bad aura or whatever on you. I don't go to a lot of funerals,
Let the
so
store deal with it.
yeah,
They can
exactly.
have my dead aunt's auras.
Um, in Lithuania, you're not supposed to whistle inside the house. Well, just don't go to Lithuania.
That's weird.
I've never heard that. Of course, I don't whistle. Can you whistle? I can't whistle very well.
Yes, I can, but I won't prove it for the sake of our listeners.
I just, it's just like air coming out of me. Did you know you're not supposed to toast or cheer with water? That's bad
Oh,
luck.
hmm. I did
Yeah,
not.
I didn't
I've done
either.
that.
You have?
Yeah.
Did you have, did you have bad luck?
No.
No. All good.
Or if it was
Superstitions.
so insignificant that I didn't notice it.
Okay, here's the furniture stuff. You're not supposed to sleep with your head to the north. Where is your bed
Okay.
facing?
Let's see. My head is pointed east,
I was
and
gonna
my
say it
feet
looks like
point west.
east west. Yeah, that's what we have right now. You're not supposed to face with your head to the north. And that's a Japan superstition. It's supposed to be bad luck. You're also, oh, here you go. You're not supposed to sleep with your head to the west. Is that where you said yours?
My head, no, no, no. My head is on the east side of the bed, and my
Okay.
feet point west.
Okay, there you go. So you're okay. And this is only bad in Africa. Where all these people get these superstitions from? Do you guys know anything about these superstitions? Here's one that I do pay attention to. You're not supposed to put your shoes on the table,
I
aside from
know,
being bad manners.
I know that you don't like that. But
It's
I
bad.
don't pay attention to it.
That's bad luck. And you know what it is it came from, I knew this, and it's English, that it used to be that when someone in the family died, instead of telling everybody, hey, dad just died or whatever, they would put that person's shoes on a table to represent that person had just died. And it was a way that everybody in the family knew that someone died. Yeah.
Wow.
I see shoes on a table. It makes me go.
Right.
I also, the one they don't mention here is a hat on a bed is supposed to mean a fight.
Oh, really? Dude, I
Yeah.
think I have a hat on my bed right now. Yeah, I have a hat on my bed
I
right
told
now.
you never to do that. No,
You've never told me that ever in my life. I've never heard that one.
I was just kidding. I was making it up like we were having a fight.
Okay. I actually got a little aggressive there. I was like, I did not know that. That was not my fault. Got a little on the defense there. Like, it's
Best
not
you
my
can.
fault.
No, yeah, hat on a bed means a fight. Um, that always makes me a little nervous when I see that as well. Especially if you just come home from working out and you got a hat on. I always wear a hat when I work out, and I just usually toss it somewhere. Don't put it on a bed. Itchy hands.
Hmm.
Do you know about that?
Doesn't it mean you're supposed to get money?
You're supposed to get money. It's supposed to be good luck to have an itchy hand. I always get very excited when my hands itch.
And feet are, you're going on a trip.
Going on a trip. My feet were itching today. Guess what? We're going on a trip tomorrow.
Whack. No way. Your feet had a sensory stimulus.
They
I've
did.
never heard of that ever happening. That's crazy.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
Okay. Owls. Have you seen any owls out in England?
No, actually. I have not.
We used to have an owl out here across from our house on Blue Bonnet.
Yeah, I remember that.
We used to have an owl there. An owl is supposed to be a bad omen.
Oh, but owls are
It,
cute.
I know. If you see an
And they're
owl,
the
it's
symbol of
supposed.
Athena.
Is it?
Yeah, they're the animal of Athena.
I didn't know that.
Wise owl.
It's supposed to mean terrible news is coming. Terrible news is coming.
Well, if it's wise news, I'll take the news.
I know. And if an owl actually makes it into your house, which is pretty rare, but it's supposed to bring death to your house.
Wow.
That's an
Wonderful.
Italian superstition.
Interesting.
Yes. So here, this is interesting. This is a Korean one. If you're pregnant, you shouldn't eat asymmetrical food.
Hmm.
An asymmetrical food like a berry that has lots of.
I know what asymmetrical means.
Oh, okay. So you're not supposed to do that because it means you're going to have an ugly baby.
Man, it's always the beauty standards in Korea. Man, I really love Korean culture. I do. I'm not trying to crap on it because I really love that culture and I just think it's so interesting and I just want to swallow it up. But the beauty standards, oh my God. The fact that that is the plastic surgery capital of the world and parents will buy like plastic surgery for their kids when they get good test scores, it hurts.
Yeah.
Just like there's a K-drama I was watching and it kind of like pokes fun at like that there's like insane beauty standards, and it just like it's funny but it's like also like okay but this is true and it's messed up that this happens.
Yeah. Yeah. They are very pretty though,
Yeah,
the Koreans. Okay, you're not supposed to open an umbrella indoors. Do you know why?
I knew you weren't supposed to do that but I do it all the time.
Some people, it came from the early Egyptians, but it also became prevalent in the 18th century Britain when waterproof umbrellas first came out and they had metal spokes, and metal spokes they would break all the time and cause injury. And so you weren't supposed to open them inside your
That's
house.
one that I actually go out of my way to break. I
You
if I
open an
see
umbrella inside?
if I, it's not like if I see an umbrella, I'll open it inside and be like, huh, "Umbrella, I must open it now." But if I'm getting an umbrella out because it's raining, I open it indoors,
Yeah.
like
See,
intentionally, and then I go out.
that way you're covered when you go out, right?
Yeah.
There you go. I knew this one, but I don't really pay attention to it. You're not supposed to, or you are supposed to eat grapes on New Year's Eve to bring luck to the new year.
Hmm. I mean that
Not
makes
only that, you're
sense. But I did not know that though.
you're supposed to eat 12 grapes, one for every month.
Huh? No more, no less. Unless you want to eat 365 for one for each day, but that'd be a lot of grapes.
I've never heard of this one. This is a Japanese one. You're supposed to hide your thumbs when you pass a graveyard.
Why? Because dead people like thumbs.
The Japanese word for thumb translates to parent finger, so it protects your parents from death.
Ah,
I've never heard that.
interesting.
Yeah,
Your
there
thumb
it
is
is.
your parent finger.
You're supposed to throw salt over your shoulder if you spill it. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know. I did. I couldn't. I always know like the throw salt over your shoulder, but I didn't know that's why you did it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bad luck if you spill salt, and so you have to pick some up and throw it over your shoulder so you don't have bad luck.
So if you spill more salt, the resolution to get rid of that bad luck is to spill more salt.
Yeah, pretty much. hadn't thought of that. That's true. You're not supposed to let your purse touch the floor.
What?
Yeah. If you put your purse on the floor, it's money out the door.
All of my purses are on the floor right now.
You'll be. How are your bank accounts doing?
Not too hot. It's coming to fruition. Oh, crikey, dude. I gotta get my purses off the floor.
Just saying, aren't you glad you tuned in? Okay, and here's the last one. And this comes from South Korea, and I'm really sorry to tell you because you do this. In South Korea, you're not supposed to sleep with the fan running and your door closed.
Okay. In my defense, the humidity has been at 75% and it's 75 degrees out Fahrenheit. So
Yeah.
I've been kind of dying. So I've been sleeping with the fan on. I think I knew about the door one, but I don't think the door one's followed completely. I mean,
It's
they're all
supposed to-
superstitions.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't follow superstitions, but I've definitely watched Korean like idol groups like going on like sleepover kind of things, and the door will be closed.
And the fan will be on. That
No,
combination.
not. Oh, is it just that combo?
It's that combo. Yeah, it's supposed to be
Oh,
fatal.
I just thought it was doors closed. Can't sleep with your doors closed.
Yeah,
I
doors.
was like, I've
doors
definitely
closed
seen people
and,
close.
and the fan on. That's supposed to be a fatal
That's
combination.
actually what I have going right now. The door is closed, and
But
my
you're not
fan is
asleep.
going over there.
But
That
you're
is
not asleep.
true, but I'm about this close because I'm tired.
And you're having a beverage.
For
How
some
is your
reason,
beverage? Is it
my
good?
body woke me up at 7:30 this morning.
Ugh.
Don't know why that was. Well, I went to bed at like 4 a.m.
Is that late or early?
Early for going to bed at 4 a.m.
Okay.
I was very mad with my 3 hours of sleep.
It's all sad. Okay, so how did you do on that? I didn't think I was a very superstitious person, but I found myself saying I do a lot of these things. So apparently I am. Who knew?
Womp womp.
I find it fun.
And that has to contribute to your SI, your dominant function, which if you read my blog post, you'll know what that means. Wah, wah, wahoo.
Nice. Okay.
Check out
there
my
it
blog
is.
post. I spent a lot of time on it. Please.
Once I get it up, I'll get it up actually right after we record this. I'll go and finish it up. Okay, so I have a quiz in celebration of me getting through Oedipus. I was going to say Oedipus again.
What's really exciting is I'm really actually happy that you went and read that story because, like I've said, I really do enjoy Greek mythology. But currently right now, I'm reading the Percy Jackson series to my flatmate.
Mhm.
So I've been rereading the Percy Jackson series, which has been lovely.
Wait, you're reading it to your flatmate?
Yes,
Why don't they just read it?
because I wanted to read it too
Oh,
and enjoy it. And I
It is
read
good.
fast. Rick Riordan was definitely one of those authors as a kid that, like, as soon as I heard he was coming out with a new book, I was like, I don't care what it's about. I want it because I know I'm going to like it.
Okay, so I have a Greek quiz for you. This is on Greek mythology, and follow along at home, and let's see how you do. I actually did really well, and it might have been because I just watched that documentary, and on this, but I got 6 out of 10, which I was really happy about because just a week ago I said I know nothing about Greek mythology, but I got 6 of these right. So who knew? Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, these are multiple choice, so wait for all 4 of the answers here. Okay, so who was Zeus's wife? Aphrodite, Athena, Artemis, or Hera?
Hera.
Yes, and I got that right. That was one of many. Okay, Aphrodite was the goddess of what?
Love.
Anger and sex. Anger and sex, love and hate, beauty and war, or love and beauty.
Love and beauty.
I got that wrong as well. It's anger and sex. No, I lied.
Anger and...
I
What?
lied. I lied.
I was like, no, it's not. I was like, she is not the god of anger. Bruh, can you imagine Aphrodite posting up to like, nah. I was so confused. I was like, no way. No way.
I just looked at the wrong answer.
Did you intentionally?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just doing that to screw with me.
No, I just looked at the wrong answer. No, it's love and beauty.
Okay, good. I was right.
That is exactly an example of me just reading things and not paying attention. Like Aphrodite, why would she be so with anger?
I know the Aphrodite being the goddess of anger just like does not make sense. Though that being said, Aphrodite has done some questionable things.
Oh man, that's funny. I'm like
in terms of anger,
blushing that I got that so wrong.
Oh, it is what it is.
Okay, moving right along. How was Athena born? Wait, don't
An
say it.
idea
Nope. From Hera's womb, from Zeus's head, from flowers, or from the ocean?
from Zeus's head.
That is correct. From Zeus's head.
She
I
was
don't
an
know what
idea, and then she just conjured up.
I said so that I got that wrong. I did not know that.
And I believe it was Aphrodite who was born from a shell in the ocean. She disappeared. Was it Aphrodite? I must have been Aphrodite. Okay, continue.
The only thing I know about her, she's not the goddess of love, of anger and sex.
Okay.
Okay, who was the god of war? Ares, Hades, something I can't pronounce, or Dionysus? Hephaestus. I can't even pronounce that word.
Okay. You actually got two of the pronunciations wrong. So the answer, the god of war, is Ares, but it's Dionysus and Hephaestus.
Dionysus. What did I say?
You said Dionysus or something?
Oh. I know Dionysus. I think I was tripped up because I saw this word and I thought I have to say it and I don't know how to say it. How do you say that?
Hephaestus. And he is the god.
Hephaestus.
And he is the god of blacksmiths and tools.
Oh, look at you. Okay, yes, Ares is the god that we were looking for on that one.
What were the other options? Dionysus is wine, and like
Hades.
Hades is underworld.
Yes. That's right, Dionysus, because we were going to get a little statue of him with all of our wines in our wine cellar in our last house.
Oh, really? That's cool.
So I had actually heard of them.
BTS have a song about called Dionysus. It's a party. It's a party song. No surprise.
Okay, who doesn't know this one? Icarus flew too close to what? Don't answer it. Sand, sea, moon, or sun?
Well,
no,
the sun.
The sun.
Yeah. Escaping the labyrinth. He did that.
Didn't they mention that in one of the Hamilton songs?
It's like, yeah. You've married an Icarus. He's flown too close to the sun.
There you go. I'm like, they said something about that one of Hamilton songs. Yeah. Okay. How are you doing so far? I'm not keeping track.
All of them right.
You got all of them right? Okay. Zeus and Hades were brothers with which god? Poseidon, Apollo, Ares, or Hermes?
Poseidon.
Very good. Look at you. When I first mentioned this quiz, you were like, I don't know if I can get all these. You're sailing through it. Okay. What did Prometheus, am I saying that right? Steal from Zeus to give to the mortals? Plague, fire, tears, or hate?
Fire.
That's correct. I thought it was tears. I thought I had read somewhere it was tears.
Prometheus stole fire, and that was how, in the lore, how humans found fire. Like, that's how we became, and that was like the catalyst to humans becoming like a cognitive race and species, was because of the discovery of fire, which Prometheus stole to like gain us. And so as a result, Zeus like severely punished Prometheus for giving us like cognitive function.
Oh, is that right? Because we looked
like,
at it and thought, oh, that could burn us or what?
We found fire, and then we were like, oh my god, imagine all the things we could do, and then went on and became like, this massive race that was ruling the planet.
It all started with that. Who knew?
In the lore, yes.
Interesting. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, funny stuff. Apollo was the god of what? Music, poetry, and art, the heavens, animals and the moon, weapons, and warfare.
Music, poetry, and art. He is also the god of the sun and medicine, which were not listed, but those were there too.
Yeah, that actually says this here. He was also the god of the sun, light, healing, knowledge, and order. He is depicted as the ideal man, Apollo. And then they have this picture. This is the ideal man that they've read.
Oh, stunning. Stunning. Though I do believe he is supposed to be depicted with blonde curly hair.
Well, there you go.
Like, actually, but that just could be a figment of my imagination. Maybe that's just how I pictured him.
Okay. Who was Apollo's twin sister? Athena, Hestia, Artemis, or Demeter? Demeter?
Yeah, Demeter is the correct pronunciation, but the answer is Artemis. She's goddess of the hunt.
That is correct. Artemis. She was goddess of the hunt, moon, and fertility.
Nice.
You know your stuff. Okay, and this is the last one. Athena turned Medusa into what? A gorgon, a nymph, a siren, a siren, and a mermaid or a mermaid.
Oh, one of the three Gorgons.
Yep, that's right. She
And
was
do you
a.
know why?
Do tell.
Because Poseidon, so Medusa was a maiden, and like a woman. She was a mortal woman, and Athena caught her making love to Poseidon in her temple. And Athena got so mad that she cursed Medusa forever with turning her into a Gorgon so that she would never. Not only would she just like repel anybody around her, but anytime she made eye contact with someone, she'd turn them to stone so she could never.
Yeah, that's the thing I know about her is that she turned people to stone. That was in one of the Percy Jackson movies, wasn't it? Everybody was like turned into stone. All these statues.
Yeah, the movies are really inaccurate though. So, but yes, it was in the Percy Jackson series.
Gotcha. We did 10 out of 10 on that. Very good.
Woo 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 woo.
How did you do at home? Were you following along? And how did you do on the Greek mythology quiz? I'm just delighted I got 6 of those. And obviously,
Which ones did you get wrong?
I only copied the first couple ones where I said, oh, I got that one wrong. I got Hera. I did get Aphrodite wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't choose anger and sex, but my answer shows that I was wrong on it. I missed how Athena was born. I did not know
right.
how
I remember you saying
Athena
that.
was born. I got the god of war being Ares. I got that right. Icarus, I got right. Zeus and Hades' brother Poseidon, I got right. I didn't know that Prometheus took fire. I had no idea
Oh
about
right,
that.
you said tears.
Oh, that's right. Yes, and Apollo, I got him right, and his twin sister. I actually knew this one, um, but I hit Athena, which is I don't know why I
Oh,
did that. It's the
just
other
went too
A.
fast. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I got Medusa right. So I actually got 7 out of 10 right, but
Nice.
I marked that one wrong. So yeah, I'm so happy that I can now say I know something about Greek mythology because I knew nothing a week ago.
Mm.
There it
Yeah.
is. And I would read another book this week, but we'll be in sunny SoCal and the weather looks great. And I'm so excited to go.
Yeah, sick.
Nice. Do look for pictures. I will post. Okay. That's all I have for our lucky 13th episode. Is it lucky? If you watched it, feel free to subscribe. Hit a subscribe on that button. Go ahead. Take us on out of here, my darling.
Yeah, if you're listening to us on any podcast streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc., thanks so much for joining us. We're really happy you're here. Yeah, stick around. We've got lots of fun content coming up. If you're watching us on YouTube and you're here looking at our faces and that cute poocheroo who you saw made a special guest appearance, who is now sleeping in the background, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single one of our episodes. Notification bell turned on, all that fun stuff. And check out our socials so you can join the conversation. Let us know what you're thinking, how things that you found superstitious that you always follow, how you did on the Greek mythology quiz, or just give us any updates if you're learning any languages, etc. We've got Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter, all of which are just Girls Across the Pond. And we've got our own website, which is just girlsacrossthepond.com, which we have a very special cool blog there that you should all check out because I've got a cool blog post. If you didn't know yet, if you didn't hear me say that this episode, I've got a blog post. Go look at it now.
Yes, and it's good. And I forgot to mention because you said something about Korean earlier. I met with my girlfriend on Russian, and which was fabulous. We had such a good time. We talked for like 4 hours. But she did let me know that I was saying "pojalusta," and that was incorrect. I was like, "Oh, I learned a new word. It was please, and it's "pojalusta." That's incorrect. The correct pronunciation is "pojalsta." How did I do? Did I do "pojalsta"? I was putting an extra syllable in there.
Ah,
So, "pojalsta." I'm probably still butchering it, but at least I'm closer now. So she gave me lots of things to study, and I'm on my way. So it's all good. Yeah, it is. So join us again next time. Hopefully we'll see you on social media, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. See you guys in our next episode. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.